Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And what you're looking at here is a little makeshift contraption that I put together. Do some water transferring, get some of these totes filled or emptied, whatever it was required. And I set it up over here right now because I'm going to be emptying this tote and watering the mulberry trees with it. But they don't need water right now because they just got water 2 days ago. So I just wanted to have it ready to go because with prices of gas and everything, I'm not really going anywhere unless it's mandatory. So I was in here today working a little bit, and what I tried was an experiment here. This is one of the 2x4s that came from that 2x4 pallet I got from Don. And this was another piece of 2x4 that was one of the cross members of the pallet. And I needed a 10-foot 2x4, not the little 9-footer that I had, or the 106. I needed a little bit more than that. So I needed a 120-inch piece to put it straight. So what I did was I used some waterproof glue. I cut this on 45s, and then I coated both sides with good waterproof glue. And then these are 3-inch deck screws, the gray deck screws that don't rust. And I drilled them with a pocket drill on an angle so that they go all the way into the stud this way. So I got 2 on this side and 1 on the other side in the center. And that's as solid as can be. I'm not going to be using this for basic structural, but I did need to have 1 more of these, because what I want to do is, you can see how I got that one laid up there just to see. Well, that's not going there. That's a 2x2, a piece of cutoff that I had. But it'll be a 2x4 that goes in between there, standing upright this way, right up against that edge of the roof, so that because that edge is actually a gutter that catches water and runs it off to that side. So I want to just go on the inside of the 2 4x4s, just the bottom of the 2x4, even with that metal, and then I'll have a 2-foot area there, so I can use a roll of 2-foot hardware cloth or something to that effect to run across there to keep the critters and the birds out and still let sunlight through. And then on this side I would need the well, it's a little less than 10 foot, but I think it comes out to 115 inches. Yeah, 115 instead of 120. So I'll excuse me, I'll be cutting that one and putting it in here. Same thing, standing up this way, so it's wide this way and narrow that way, in between the 2 4x4s, and that gives me a 2-foot nailer there. So that's my plan for that. So anyway, I did that, and then I got my hot glue gun out here, and I had a hole in that tote way over there, and it was one of those dumb things where I was playing around with the 22 and the ricochet went through the water. I patched it with hot glue and it's holding just fine. So got that. And then I transferred water down from the totes up there by Tomcat's condo and refilled this one because I had it down to halfway. And I still have enough up there to refill this one more time if I have to. But everything in the garden is right now is just fine. But we're not going to go in there because I'm going to be getting into that. But at the end of the month, I'll show you everything that's going on inside the garden. So that was one of the other things I did. And then here's a tip for you guys. If you have a barbecue like I have there, and it has a battery powered igniter on it, and you open it up for the springtime and try the igniter, and it doesn't work. So the first thing you do is you go change the battery, and it still doesn't work. So you say, oh my God, the igniter's gone bad on this. So I'm gonna have to see if I can order another igniter. Well, don't waste your money until you take that igniter apart, and inside of the bottom of the igniter, there's a little spring contact that has to make contact with the bottom of the battery, the negative side of the battery. And that'll corrode from the moisture over the winter time, and then you lose contact to your battery. So you got to do is get down inside of there with something and clean it off. And what I did was I used a Phillips screwdriver, and it fits right in the end of the spring, and then just rotated the screwdriver and scraped the crud off the end of the spring. And then I sprayed it with a little bit of WD-40, and then I stuffed a paper towel down there to dry the WD-40 up, and then put the battery back in. Works perfect. So little word of advice and a tip: don't go spending your money on a new igniter. It's probably just corroded contacts if it's a battery style. Now if it's the magneto style where you push it and it clicks, it goes click, click, click. I hate those things, but that's what they had in all the old barbecues. If that one's not working, most likely it's either lost its ground because of corrosion, or the little magneto part inside of it is burnt out. So first thing you do is clean the contacts, and then give it a couple of pushes and see if you get a spark. If not, then that's bad. About $14 you can buy one of those at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. They have replacement units. So next, there's old Clem there. He likes this side of the swing better, but looks like he's leaning over to cut one. Oh, don't do that. You're on camera. Anyway, anywho, the other thing I did was I got the two couplers for the bottom of the ladder, and they're just a little bit too tall, but that's no big deal. I can live with that. They'll probably sink down when I get my weight on the ladder. But I also found the plastic trim strap that I want to put underneath the edges of the new decking to seal that area. But I gotta find my big glue sticks to go with my glue gun. I've got the ones that are 12 inches long. So the ones that I'm using in there are only like 4 inches long, and it's a pain in the neck changing them every few minutes. I have to add another one, because I'm going to be hot gluing that system all the way around on the inside of here. So once I get it hot and I've got a 12-inch hot glue stick in there, I probably only have to use 2 hot glue sticks to go all the way around this thing and seal it, and then that'll be ready. Pulled the filter today and cleaned that out, and yeah, it needed cleaning. So that's all ready to go. And took the hose off of there, the drain hose I had on there. And that's I moved that down there because I'm going to be, like I said, draining that other tote. So that was another thing I did. And then I started getting my other stuff together because the good weather is coming. I think this year I want to get my solar dehydrator cabinet built so that I can dehydrate some of the stuff that I grow and store that for the winter, or munch it, one or the other. Make some beef jerky, that stuff. So this 7-inch pipe and the elbow will be part of it. And what do you do with that? Well, you got to bury it in the ground halfway, so only the top half of it is exposed. This will be laying down horizontally, and then this part, the elbow, comes up in the center of the cabinet, the dehydrator cabinet. And then there'll be a screen on the other end so critters and bugs and things like that can't crawl in and get inside of the unit. And then that'll be surrounded by a dam of some type, a small wood structure or concrete or whatever, to hold up a sheet of glass, which I have right here. I get this framed glass. So this will go over the top of that, and that'll make it just like a solar panel. That'll all be painted black. The part that's exposed will be painted black. So the sun will go over the top, and it's going to heat that pipe up, and it's going to suck cool air in the end of it. And of course, the hotter air wants to rise, so it's going to go out through that elbow, and then it's going to rise up right through the cabinet that I built, the wooden cabinet. But I did some notes last night sitting at my table thinking, because I was hunkered down from the winds again yesterday. But I made some notes, and I've got to protect the inside of that from rodents, ants, other insects, all kinds of flying insects. And they got these little tiny black, looks like a little wasp type things. They're small, but they can find the smallest crack and they can get into that. So I've got to design the whole cabinet to be protected against that kind of stuff. And then also, I don't want anything tunnel up from underneath. So I think I'm going to be doing the desert-crete floor inside of both the heater tube and the inside of the cabinet. The floors will be desert-crete so that I don't have to worry about anything tunneling up and coming up to the side of there and eating all my stuff that I'm dehydrating. So got that. And then I got the parts I need to put the air jets on my tote-cuzzi. And this will be the air pump I'm going to be using. And temporarily I just connected this piece of PVC because I wanted to see if it was going to be, this little pump was going to be strong enough to blow bubbles in my tote-cuzzi. Give me some agitation in there. Not only will that cool the water down in the summertime when it gets up in the hundreds, but it'll also give it a nice massage. So what I did was, to test it, because I'm using the battery outside for that filter, I got my Corad out. This is a programmable DC power supply. So I plugged it in to the outlet over there, and then when I turn this on, I've got it set for 12.7. 12.7 volts, which is a little bit better than a fully charged 12-volt battery. So I had this bucket of water right here, and I stuck this down in the water, and I said, well, let's see if it'll blow bubbles. So let me see. I got to tighten this because I don't have anything glued. But here we go. Oh, yeah. I don't think I'll have any trouble with that. So that was a success. So I'll be gluing this all together, and this pump has to stay at least 6 inches above the water level, the highest water level, so that no water, because of course it's going to be, the pipe will have fittings going through the tub below the water level, so water is going to backflow on that when it's not blowing and fill the pipes. So when you turn it on, the air has to blow all that water out of the pipes first before it can stop blowing air bubbles. Well, if you have this too low, when the water backfeeds, when you shut it off, you're going to drown your air pump in the water, and it'll short out, and that'll be the end of that. So This will be mounted up a little bit higher, probably level with the top of the deck, the floor of the deck, because the water level is usually about 6 to 7 inches below that. So I'll be fine with it. So I got the parts I need. These will be the jets. I have to drill them out, of course. And then I've got threaded T's that'll go on the outside, and then these will screw in from the inside, and that'll give me my water jets. So I'm thinking about maybe making it so that each one of these is a different type of water jet, whether it's a round hole that blows straight out, or it's a half round hole that makes the water blow upward or blow downward or whatever. But I'm thinking 4 jets, to be 2 behind where I sit down on a seat inside of there, and 2 right across from me so I can put my feet up there and get my feet massaged. Because I do a lot of walking around here, and sometimes my feet and legs get tired. And of course I gotta remember that flip-flops are comfortable, but whenever I'm working, I gotta go in. Don't be lazy. Go inside, take the flip-flops off, and put some work shoes on. All right, everybody, that's all I have for today. Thanks for joining me. Let me see if I got anything else on my list. Stovepipe dehydrator, repair gas hose. Oh yeah, I had a gas hose break on my post hole auger, and I can swear I had some spare gas hose around. That's like the 2 millimeter 2 millimeter gas hose, and I searched high and low for it, couldn't find it anywhere. So when I was in town the other day, I stopped at Home Depot and I picked up a pack with the hoses in it to replace that gas hose. And then when I came back, I had some left over and I wanted to put it away, and there it is right there. I said, oh, that's where I put my stuff for that kind of stuff. And look, I found the hose that I had. I didn't have to go buy any. I had plenty here. Look at this. That's exactly the hose I needed right there. Well, now I got extra for next time. All right, everybody. That's all I have. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget thumbs ups. Don't forget to subscribe. By the way, yesterday I went to 6,031. So I got 31 new subscribers in the past week from Sunday to Sunday. And to all you new subscribers, welcome aboard. This is G Bear signing off.